And I'm going to hand it over to you, Shannon and Amir.
Yes. And we're just going to introduce Rebecca.
Yeah.
So
we before we do that, I
Yeah.
just gotta say we're moved. I mean, we jumped into different rooms and we heard some, and I have literally goosebumps about what turned into this, with this group of people over 21 days. And I do know that it's been a lot of content and a lot of materials, and you have access to it. I don't know, for a year, I think, or however.
Yeah.
And go back, listen to it. I'm gonna do that. So it's really exciting.
And we've heard from a few people now that they're revisiting the content first thing in the morning. It's a really nice 20-30 minute way to start the day. And I could not agree more. So this is our last 21-minute guide of the Reclaim Yourself retreat. Rebecca Prephan. She holds a degree in psychology and marriage and family therapy, also currently pursuing a doctorate in psychology with an emphasis on consciousness, spirituality, and integrative health. She is a seeker of truth, a black belt in karate, and she facilitates workshops and circles incorporating spiritual insight, intuitive teaching, somatic embodiment, and psychology for groups and individuals. And she is going to share with us ritual and healing, and we're very excited. Thank you, Rebecca.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Shannon and Amir. Well, what I'd like to do first is just allow one another to just sit for a moment and connect with our breath. Your natural rhythm of how you breathe. As you breathe in and breathe out. Good. And just allow yourself to come back. Good. Ritual entices the senses. It ignites passions, and it opens the heart in mysterious ways. Author unknown. I found that quote and I found it so appropriate. And in doing ritual, and when we do this together, it creates a binding force that's much stronger than if we were to do it just alone. Although doing a daily routine of ritual is very powerful, but when we are collectively in a space joined together, it creates a magical experience. So what I'd like to do before we begin is I work with energy and mysticism, and I work with the universal law. So I'm going to call in our protectors, our spirit teams, and also the energies of the four directions, so that as we proceed with the work that we're going to do in the sacred space, we've allowed a more powerful synchronistic energy to flow in of the people who actually guide us and protect us on our journey here. So go ahead and allow yourselves to close your eyes. And when you hear me say, "So it is done," all you have to do is just verbally repeat that out loud softly. And I will say, "So it is done," at the end when I call in spirit and call in our teams, as we each have one, and then throughout our journey together. Calling in the four directions of the east, calling in the eagle, with the route to our spirit, calling in the south with the mouse, with the route to our intuition, connected to the ground and the earth, calling in the energy of the west, the grizzly bear, connection in the route to the physical body, and calling in the energy of the north, the buffalo, where we are aligned with a higher wisdom as we move forward with clarity, while we're no longer bound to the old paradigms and the ways of seeing things, because we now have the ability to see clearly. Calling in our spirit teams, the angels, the masters, and the ascended masters, the ancestors that have passed before us, and those that walk on this journey with us together. We ask for your protection and your surrounding in the sacred space of Circle as we bring this 21-day journey full circle and we do the completion work together. Taking breath in and out. So it is done. So as you are in this sacred space, you have now just entered into the 21st day of a commitment to yourself. This commitment of 21 days has been a form of ritual. It has been a form of logging in your preparation in joining Guidely during the 21 minutes each day. That is a process of ritual. Then turning on the computer and logging in and learning and being guided and having these moments has been the process within the ritual. We use ritual to create an agreement between ourselves and the power of the universe. And when we create this agreement, it allows for us to manifest the things that we want into our lives, as well as release the things that no longer serve us. And when we do it together in partnership with the creative energy of the universe, it does create this binding force that is much stronger than ourselves. Ritual is an ancient practice. It dates back thousands of years. And just as we hold muscle memory, like we learned how to catch a ball and throw a ball, our mind holds cellular data that dates back centuries. And when we are prompted on an unconscious level, maybe something triggers us or makes us feel a certain way, what's really occurring is a subconscious reaction. And when we're subconsciously reacting to something, we're acting unconsciously. We're not aware of our behavior. We're just reacting to something. And when we're reacting to something, that means we are not present. We're not present with ourselves. And this is what ritual does. It allows us to come back to presence with our being, with our thoughts, with our mind, with our body, and with our spirit. And what ritual does is it bridges the gap between our conscious mind, which is the mind that thinks, it assesses, it creates, to our unconscious mind, which is the aspect of ourselves that holds all the mystery and all the memories and all of the things that we've done throughout this lifetime and even beyond. So by bridging that gap, it illuminates this thread of something new, or maybe even something deeply familiar. And when we can illuminate something that feels deeply familiar, we're connecting our mind and our unconscious mind. And in between that is actually the spirit. It's actually the aspect of ourselves that moves us with imagination and passion. It's the aspect of self that we trust. It's where our intuition lives. And intuition is the part of ourselves that is innate. We have to trust it, but in order to trust it, we have to shed everything else that doesn't serve us. So whether we realize it or not, we embark on ritual each day. Some of us wake up, we grab the phone, we scroll social media, and suddenly we are lost in other people's thoughts and no longer our own. So we want to regroup that. We want to realign ourselves. We want to structure the intention of how we operate, what we do. And that's what we're going to do this evening. And that's what you've been doing during the 21 days. So why ritual? Because it heals. It heals trauma. It sheds the shadow aspect of ourselves, the things that have been unhealed are triggers. And it reveals truth. And it allows us to move forward in a space that is incredibly powerful and a connection with ourselves that we may not have currently. A quick story: when I was, it was 2008, 2009, the economy was crashing. I lost my business. I lost my home and I lost my relationship. I was in such despair. I had no idea what I was going to do. I didn't know where to place it. All I knew was I was overwhelmed by these feelings and by these emotions that felt like it had control over everything that I did. So what I did was I put it somewhere, and I put it in ritual. And every day I sat with myself, I lit candles, I burned incense, and I created a deeper relationship with me. And after doing that over time, it realigned me with myself. And then things began to flow in a new direction. So what I'd like to do is I'd like you to grab your candle and I'd like you to grab your incense. I have a shoelace. That works just fine. Beautiful. Okay, so what I'd like you to do is just take a moment with yourself. You should have matches as well. And I'd like you to set an intention for yourself. That intention could be for your bright space, or it could be moving forward. So just allow yourself to meet yourself exactly where you're at and set that intention. And when you have it, go ahead and write it down. And once you have it written down, I want you just to hold it in your mind's eye for a moment. And when you're ready, I'd like you to open your eyes and light your candle, holding this intention in mind. And anyone who does not have a candle, I am lighting on behalf of you as well. So I'm holding space for everyone in the circle as well. Beautiful. Now, what I'd like you to do is grab your incense or your sage or your Palo Santo. And from the candle, if possible, I'd like you to go ahead and light your incense with the candle. When we burn incense or sage or Palo Santo, what it does is it clears the energy in the room. Good. Okay, so what I'd like you to do with that incense is I just want you to spiral it around. Just move it around, and what it's doing is it is clearing the energy or any stagnant energy in the room. And when we light incense, it also realigns and opens up our heart chakra. Do we have some smoke alarms going off?
Not yet, but we're trying not to.
So allowing yourself to just breathe in the essence of the incense. Go ahead and set it down. Place your hands on your heart. And just allow your heart center to open. Good. And just breathing energy into your heart and exhaling. Now, what I'd like you to do is go ahead and grab a pen and paper. And I'd like you to take a moment to honor the person that entered into the 21 days. What was happening in your life? How are you feeling? Maybe it's a thought, maybe it's a word, maybe it's a symbol, but go ahead and jot that down. Now I'd like you to consider one thing that needs to be released from your life or let go. Maybe it's a habit, maybe it's a situation, maybe it's negative self-talk, whatever it is, just take a moment and write that down. Great. Now, recognize one aha moment you had during the last 21 days. Maybe it was something you heard from a guide. Maybe it was a new thought that ensued. Just take a moment to connect with that and write it down. And now I'd like you to consider one thing that you want to attract into your life in the very near future. What is it that you want to bring into your life sooner than later? Maybe it's a symbol, maybe it's a word, maybe it's an image of some sort. Whatever it is, go ahead and write that down. Don't judge it, trust it. Great. Now, what is the highest vision for yourself? If you have everything that you needed, if you had all the tools, what would that highest vision be? Just take a moment and write it down. Don't judge it, trust it. Okay. Now I'd like you to grab your string. Now I want you to hold in your mind's eye with your eyes closed. I want you to reflect on that person that you were 21 days ago. You're honoring that person exactly as you were entering into this space. I'd like you to go ahead and tie a knot for that person 21 days ago. Beautiful. Now I'd like you in your mind's eye to reflect on the one thing that you are really ready to let go of. What no longer serves you? Honor that. Breathe energy into that. Connect with your breath. And I'd like you to tie a knot for that. Now, the one aha moment, that idea, something the guide said, whatever it was, can hold that in your mind's eye. Let's honor that for a moment. And now go ahead and tie a knot for that aha moment. Now, what is the one thing that you intend to bring into your life in the near future? Just for you. Go ahead and hold that in your mind's eye. Let's honor that. Good. Now go ahead and tie a knot for what you're bringing into your life in the near future. Now, your highest vision. What does that look like? I want you to see that picture in your mind's eye. I want you to close your eyes for a moment, and I really want you to feel that. I want you to feel the essence of what that looks like. how that makes you feel. Who's around you? As you're surrounded by loved ones. Or nature. Let's honor that by tying a knot, your final knot. Now I'd like you to hold this string in the palm of your hands, honoring the past, the present, and the future. I'd like you to consider the energy that you are putting into this. And this is a reflection of the work you've done and where you're going. So with me, I'd like you to take a deep breath in, and then I want you to blow the energy through your hands like a big breath of air. So go ahead and breathe in and breathe out. As we blow that energy into the universe, it connects to the energies of the universal law. We welcome and attract all things that do serve us on the highest level for the highest good of all involved. Let's hold this string to our heart. Honor yourself. Honor one another. Honor the guides. Shannon and Amir. Kamala. And back to yourself. Recognize the commitment and the journey that you've been on. Good. Now, with your hands on your heart and your eyes closed, I'd like to end with this quote. What you seek is seeking you. Rumi. So it is done. Our work is done.
Yeah.
Goosebumps. Ooh, my goodness, Rebecca. Can we, even though we're done, can we all honor Rebecca in gratitude?
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
It was beautiful and powerful.
Very powerful.
Wow.
I don't feel like this is right
No.
anymore.
No, I feel like we had some thoughts of closing with the mentee word dropping. I feel that everything is, I feel like this was a perfect knot to our 21 days.
Mhm. So
Thank you.
beautiful.
So,
So do we want to open it for sharing? This was really beautiful.
I'm so glad. Thank you.
Thank you, everyone who's sharing this space with us. It's been just as much of a learning and growing and healing time for us hosting this. And I'm very grateful for each one of you.
so would love for you guys to, anybody who wants to open the mic, say something. We are, I think, 6 minutes from our promised time, so we have a few minutes. We're not going to do the words thing. So yes, Larry.
I just want to say that this has been the most amazing journey of the last 21 days. I did miss a few nights, but I did go back and watch some of the videos, and I will be watching them again. Rebecca's closing tonight was amazing and awesome, and it felt wonderful. The biggest challenge I had with that is, since I live in an RV, candles are kind of like a no-no. So I faked it with a lighter.
I got you, Larry.
Thank you. But I'm in a very different place than I was 21 days ago, and I appreciate everything that everyone has said, and it's been an awesome journey. And thank you very much.
Thank you. It was wonderful to have you as part of this, and we look forward to continue to host you as we move forward. Thank you for sharing that. Anybody else? Carmela, I could not be in deeper gratitude for you leading us through the opening ceremony, the weekly integration, the integration for the 3 weeks, for guiding us before we started this. It's been really amazing. You've been an incredible influence on us and teacher. Really grateful for that. Thank you for the guides who are here with us today and have been with us throughout the 21 days. Thank you, Rebecca, for this closing ceremony. Thank you, Shannon, for magically, really, Shannon has a magic wand. The way you curated and placed all the guides, it's like incredible. Could have not done any other way. So it really was miraculous. So I want to share with you that I started this with doubt and fear. How is it going to work out? What is it going to be like? I don't know. And I'm closing this with a sense of knowing that we're doing the right thing. So deep sense of knowing. So, and gratitude. So thank you so much, everybody. You feel free to unmute, and we'll say good night. Thank you, Paula.
So much gratitude. Thank you, Shannon and Amir. Thank
you, Shannon and Amir. It has been a wonderful experience.
Thank you all.
Thank
Thank you, Gaia. Gaia is
All
my
the
daughter
time.
here. Thank you. Gaia was working on this behind the scenes too. So
And thank you, Gaia.
Thank you, Gaia.
thank you all. Good night. And we'll see you
Good
Tuesday.
night.
We'll send you an email. We'll see you Tuesday. Thank you.
Great. Thank you so
That's
much.
great.
Bye.
Very much.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye-bye.